Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I share recipes, meal prep, and dinner inspiration. Today I'll be sharing all the freezer staples I like to keep on hand that make cooking from scratch more sustainable for our family. So whether you're trying to save money, eliminate unwanted ingredients from your diet, or simply cannot access some of your favorite go-to convenience foods, this video is for you. Cooking from scratch is time-consuming, but with time and practice, you can master the skills needed to efficiently keep your freezer stocked with these healthy and delicious, budget-friendly staples that make homemade made easy. So let's dive in. Let's start with these tortillas. These are probably the most time-consuming item I'll be sharing today, and my kitchen looks like the inside of a bag of flour by the time I'm done, but they are so worth it. We eat a lot of tortillas in this house. They are used for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so I like to make a huge batch for the freezer every other month or so. I'll be sure to link the full recipe for these tortillas and everything else I share today in the description box below. Another versatile staple that we use for breakfast as well as dinner are these biscuits. These make great breakfast sandwiches, and having these on hand is such a budget-friendly way to bulk up a meal if you have to. There are so many quick and easy recipes out there that call for canned biscuits, and these will work just the same. I subbed these homemade biscuits for the canned ones in this breakfast casserole here. Definitely give them a try and let me know what you come up with. Another bread recipe, these breadsticks are almost as good as Olive Garden. There is nothing better to accompany a warm bowl of your favorite soup than these fresh baked breadsticks hot from the oven. Whenever soup season rolls around, I am sure to stock my freezer. Speaking of bread, I found this past holiday season that I'm able to freeze bread dough in the loaf pans, which makes gifting fresh baked bread so much easier. I have an amazing new bread recipe I plan on uploading a full step-by-step tutorial for soon. However, if you cannot wait for that and want to try this recipe now, you can find it in the description box below. What kid doesn't like chicken nuggets? Admittedly, Tyson nuggets were freezer staples for us before moving overseas, but as much as my kids loved those, they much prefer these. I use cut up chicken breast pieces and double bread them using flour and breadcrumbs. These are also great on salads, and we love to toss them in this honey garlic glaze for a quick and easy dinner. These meatballs are another versatile staple that we use almost weekly. I use them for meatball subs at lunch, and spaghetti and meatballs is something I make at least every other week. I've used them in the crock pot with veggies for this meatball stew, and they're also good over rice, noodles, or mashed potatoes with gravy. My kids love meatballs, so I'm always looking for new ways to serve them. Comment below if you have any suggestions for me. I could not do a video featuring my favorite freezer staples without sharing my favorite, pizza. There are no frozen pizza options available here in Botswana, and takeaway or delivery is expensive. Having these homemade frozen pizzas on hand makes pizza night so convenient. A few tips I've learned over the years. Letting my dough slowly rise in the fridge overnight yields a better crust. And par baking the crust before topping and freezing also yields better results when it comes to baking from frozen. I also like to freeze my crusts before I top them. I find they're just easier to work with that way. I recently started making these sheet pan size. One pizza crust is enough for this 12 by 16 inch pan and is currently big enough for all three of my kids to share. They are 10, 8, and 5 for reference. One of the many benefits to making these homemade is you can totally customize them. Two of my kids don't eat cheese, so I can leave that off of theirs. These smaller ones are for my husband and I to share. When pizza night rolls around, just pop them in the oven at 375 for 15 to 20 minutes. You will find pizza night on my meal plan each week, and having these homemade frozen pizzas in my freezer is so convenient. By the way, this free printable meal plan is available to you in the description box below. I used to keep individual frozen pizzas on hand for quick and easy lunches, but that was getting to be way too much work for lunch. I recently discovered that naan bread is perfect for pizza. I love having a stash of this naan on hand. My kids use it to make themselves pizzas at lunch. We always have marinara and shredded cheese on hand, and they get creative experimenting with using different leftovers for additional toppings. Sometimes I make the naan small enough to fit in our lunchbox containers for homemade pizza Lunchables on the go. I like to eat it with hummus and veggies, and it always accompanies our favorite butter chicken. You'll also find a variety of snacks and treats in my freezer. Cookie and cracker dough freeze really well. Whenever I make chocolate chip cookies or things like these cheese crackers, I like to double the recipe, keeping one stashed away in the freezer, saving me extra dishes and steps in the future. Homemade granola bars and energy bites keep really well in the freezer. I always keep one or the other on hand for my kids to snack on. This all butter pie crust has been my go-to recipe for more than 10 years and is something I like to stock up on at the start of the holiday season. Thanksgiving or Christmas wouldn't be complete without some sort of pie, and homemade pies can be a delicious and budget-friendly option for holiday get-togethers, especially if you use frozen berries. I also like to use this crust for a variety of savory dishes, like this breakfast quiche and these pot pies. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Please share this video if you think it's worth sharing, like it if you thought it was helpful, and tap on that subscribe button if you haven't already and want to see more. Until next time.